I'm gon' ride, we gon' ride, who gon' slide, we gon' slide, they my guys, they my slimes.
Clip up the ride out.
I'm gon' ride, we gon' ride, who gon' slide, we gon' slide, they my guys, they my slimes.
All out when we ride out.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is another mandatory for Devin that doesn't want smoke. Now that's G's title on that. So G, fill us in.
All right. So now this is according to our homie Michael Benson, and he wrote, Oscar De La Hoya has denied that Jojo Diaz will challenge Devin Haney next, and retweeted a tweet claiming Diaz is going to fight Ryan Garcia instead. So now, when you look at this, remember Ryan Garcia was the first mandatory for Devin Haney, and Ryan said nah. And now Jojo Diaz in his last victory became the mandatory for the WBC, and he's also refusing to take on Devin Haney. So that's where this another mandatory for Devin Haney doesn't want the smoke.
All right, Dog Bill.
Nah. I'm not calling this a duck. I'm calling this a great business move by Oscar De La Hoya. Everybody else does it. PBC does it. Matchroom does it. Top Rank does it. Keep the money in house. They all golden gloves, golden boys. You got me calling them the golden gloves. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? They got
that's being your friend, bro.
True.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? I got love for Ryan Garcia and Jojo Diaz. I want everybody to know that was a slip up. But shout out to Golden Boy. But yeah, this all Golden Boy. Keep that money right there. Keep the money in the house. Why not? Why make the money outside the house? And I noticed something that Devin's doing, but that's for another day. They're what Devin and them are doing. They're trying to be bosses, but they're not. They're going, but that's for another episode. They're just going about it the wrong way. But I get what he's trying to do, but he's trying to do too soon. You got to take baby. You're trying to jump too. But yeah, but I get what you're doing. But you know, but yeah, I see what Oscar's doing. Look, they both on Golden Boy. Let them fight each other. You know what I'm saying? And make a big fight, and the winner goes and fight somebody else. Maybe he can get in there with a tank, because that's who they're trying. That's who they're trying to get in there with. An exciting fight to make some money. They're not trying to be in a dull fight for low money.
All right, Spirit G.
Yeah, man. I do want to counter Trill, but
go ahead, my bro. Go ahead.
I actually agree with you though. You know what I'm saying? It's like I want to hate on it though, because man, I feel so bad for Devin, man. It's just, it really sucks for this gentleman, man. Like, I don't, man. I'm thinking he might have to just move up to 140, you know, because none of these 135ers are gonna give him an opportunity. Like every person has Devin Haney's name in their mouth. You know what I mean? Like. But when it comes to signing on that contract, everybody's like, nah, man, I got other options. I got this, I got that. I'm good. And it's just like, man, this is just the Loma situation all over again. So I just feel, I really feel bad for Devin, man. And hopefully if he goes to 140, he can make, you know, he can make bigger fights. And hopefully people are willing to take those fights, you know. But, and I will say this, 135 is, right now, it's like it's becoming the new welterweight division, where it's an exciting division. People want to see those fights, you know. But you know, Ryan is his own name, Rolly is his own name, Tank is his own name, Loma even is his own name. So it's like these guys don't have to fight Devin to get big fights. They can get big fights without him, and that's why it's like it's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. That's why I'm like, yo, Devin, man, it's all good, bro. We know that you official. Just go to 140. Hopefully you can land some good fights over there, because 135 clearly don't love you.
TV.
I want to see it. I agree with Chiz. I want to say it's a duck. It's more of like Jojo fighting Ryan Garcia is still a big it's still a good fight in itself. It's not like he's ducking to fight a lesser opponent. He's fighting Ryan Garcia. And honestly, if Jojo was to like beat him, he'll boost his profile even more by beating Ryan Garcia. But at this point, Devin, like, it's just like you're not the best fight. You're not the best fight or the easiest option, or the there's no win-win situation out of fighting you, especially when somebody else has your belt. But you know, I just say Devin, sooner or later they're gonna have to fight you because you're such a great fighter, and your profile is gonna be you're gonna be one of the big faces in this sport, that they're gonna have to fight you sooner or later.
Do they
So
though?
I would, huh?
Do they?
If they
A
want,
lot of
hey,
names that we can mention, none of them has to fight him, bro. Not one.
he's literally 20 years old right now. 5 years from now, they're gonna have to walk down. They're gonna have to walk down the gloves of Devin. 10 years from now, they're gonna have to.
If Devin keeps winning,
Yeah,
eventually they're gonna have to see
eventually
him.
they're gonna have to walk
If-
down the gloves of this kid.
If they keep winning too.
Yeah, just build your profile. I would say, yeah, a lot of these young fighters, they get into their star status so early that now it gets to their head like they're superstar. Now build that profile. You become that megastar you're meant to be, Devin. And then sooner or later, these dudes, you ain't gonna have to call them. They all gonna be calling you. So don't even trip. They right now it's just kiddie food.
I mean, I've been saying this, so like for me, this is just me reiterating what I already predicted. You can call it ducking, you can call it avoiding, or whatever you want, saying that they don't want smoke. But like at the end of the day, let's look at the facts. I just did a quick check. Devin Haney has 1.1 million followers on Instagram. Ryan Garcia has 8.8 million followers on Instagram. Ryan Garcia had an exciting victory over Luke Campbell, and Devin Haney had a points victory over Jorge Linares, and he got rocked and wobbled to his corner in the eighth. Now I give him credit, but like I don't think anyone was watching that fight and thinking like, "Oh my God, this dude is unbeatable." In fact, I think a lot of people like Tank Davis thinks if he rocks you, I knock you out. I think Ryan Garcia is thinking if he rocks you, I knock you out. I think Jojo Diaz is thinking if he rocks you, I knock you out. The reason why these dudes aren't stepping in the ring with Devin isn't because he's some intimidating force. His power is so he lacks so much power. He's fishing for power compliments from Jorge Linares at the end of the fight, where he's like, "What do you think about my power compared to Loma? Do you think Loma walks around saying, 'What do you think of me compared to Devin?'" I think in Loma's mind, Devin Haney is easy work, 100%. So, Loma, you want to fight Devin for pennies on the dollar, or do you want to fight the guy who just knocked out Richard Comey, won his belt in the ring, is on ESPN like you, and oh, by the way, we're going to make it for Undisputed anyway because Devin agreed to the BS. And so when all is said and done, he brings nothing to the table. Money? No. Entertaining fight? No. He's not entertaining. He doesn't bring the money. What's the benefit of fighting him? That's what I keep trying to tell everyone. Everyone keeps, "Oh, this, you're making no points." Yo, another thing, like, because I got a fan club. Just because you say that I lost an argument, because in your mind you think that, doesn't make it reality, bro. Here's the proof again. Logic. Logic is what matters at the end of the day. Logic wins out. Everything that I said would happen with these guys, it's happened. I'm not the one on the wrong side of history. Everyone's not ducking Devin. Devin doesn't realize his status. He doesn't realize where he's at. In his mind, he's bigger than he is. But what he is a talented opponent with no fanfare really in comparison to the other guys. Tank has fought on pay-per-view numerous times already, sold out arenas. Celebrities tweet about Tank. Celebrities go to watch Tank. Tank got a buzz. Ryan Garcia got the social media game. And Ryan Garcia is tapped into the market that Jake Paul's tapped into. Ryan Garcia is tapped into that social media star market, so much so that he got, 7.7 million more followers on IG than Devin Haney does. That's significant. He can take some of his followers, give them to Devin Haney, and still have more followers than Devin Haney. Like, this is what I'm saying to you. Who else is there? Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko, who beat the Axeman Nicholas Walters, who beat Gary Russell Jr., who beat Reagan Dow, who beat Luke Campbell, who beat the Jorge Linares that you beat better than you did, to the point where you was like, compared to him, how am I? All these guys have done more than you. But somehow you're the guy everyone's ducking. Yo, only illogical people think that. It's when you put things in its proper perspective, would you fight a guy for pennies on a dollar? And lastly, Teofimo Lopez doesn't even need to be mentioned into him versus Devin, because he didn't fight Devin because he took the guy who was ranked number 1 pound for pound at the time. The guy who was ranked number 1 pound for pound at the time took a guy who has more punching power, who accomplished more, won the fight in the ring over fighting Devin. Everybody's criticizing people for not fighting Devin because the truth is you just want Devin to get an opportunity. And I feel that. Mm-hmm. But don't make it seem like they're avoiding him. Business matters in boxing. It's prize fighting at the end of the day, not pride fighting. And fighting Devin Haney doesn't yield that prize yet. That's why he's not getting the fights.
Well, how
exactly. Kevin Farmer. He can fight Kevin Farmer.
Nah, but I do have a name that I do feel like this person should be fighting Devin. And it should be Rolly. And the reason why is because it's not like Rolly's generating any pay-per-views or any high purses, right? And they already have an issue going on, you know, so and the only thing that's really holding that fight back is really Mayweather, right? But Rolly should take that opportunity. Why? Because Devin does have the belt. So then if Rolly becomes a champion, now he could he'll definitely get bigger fights because he's affiliated with Mayweather's team. So it's like, why not just take the belt from Devin Haney? You know, like that's to me is like, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying if out of all these guys, right, that we're thinking about, everyone does
that flavor. You should have saved that, G.
Nah, I'm just saying. Man,
leave Rolly out for a second because we're talking about Devin. What would Devin beating Rolly do for Devin? How does that give him a leg up on Lomachenko? How does that give him a leg up on Tio? How does that give him a leg up on Ryan Garcia? How does that give him a leg up on anyone? These guys are fighting real opponents. You're talking about Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko in a rematch with one another. You're talking about Ryan Garcia looking to fight Jojo Diaz, who beat Tevin Farmer, a legitimate fighter. You're talking about Javante Tank Davis, who just beat Barrios, and now he's looking for another opponent. And oh yeah, you're gonna give Devin Haney Rolly. He's already at the bottom of the totem, so he needs to do something that's going to bring him up the ladder.
Yeah, but you just brought my argument. You actually made my argument for everyone else is taken. What else does Devin Haney got? He got no options. Rolly don't.
He got Gary Russell, and he can give Gary Russell more money than he wanted to give Gary. He can give more concessions to Gary than he was willing to give Gary.
And I say Tevin Farmer's already on the zone, and Devin Haney's on the zone. That's an easy fight to make. Y'all still on the same side of the street. Y'all both on the zone.
I'll say this, and salute to Farmer and Gary Russell, but nobody's really looking for them right now. Their names are cold right now in these streets. But if Devin has no other options, why not? But I'm just saying, Rolly, he's kind of building himself up on social media, on Twitter. So, you know, Devin, I think Devin should be petitioning to get that fight because now I don't know how well it's gonna do. Like, but
again, though, you want Devin to ride Rolly's wave. You want Devin to take Rolly's
no.
That's what you want. No. That's what.
No. Let me clarify. Rolly was the one that kept Devin Haney's name all up in his mouth. Mm-hmm. So if you're always bringing up Devin Haney, fight Devin Haney. You see what I'm saying? That's what it should be. If Rolly didn't want no smoke, don't bring him up. So I'm saying, out of all the guys I brought up Devin Haney's name, Rolly looks like he doesn't really have too many options. So Rolly can fight with Devin Haney. That's what I'm saying.
You said Rolly don't look like he has many options? I think Rolly got more options than Devin. Rolly can get Tank fight. Rolly can get Ryan Garcia fight. Rolly could probably get a fight with Vasily or one of these dudes later on down the line, and that's what I'm talking about. You see, the issue is because I just talked about this. Hate generates more than love in this sport. Adrian Broner fought on pay-per-view before Thurman, all these guys. Why? Because the public want to see him get beat up, and they said, we're going to give you what you want. Put him on pay-per-view. So what I'm trying to tell you is Rolly's generating this heat. Rolly's generating this traction. People talking about Rolly, and so now Devin want to fight him. And this is why I counter you. You're right. He has Devin's name in his mouth. Devin never entertained the thought of fighting him before. When he had his name in his mouth years ago, Devin laughed at him like he was a joke. He was just a guy in Mayweather's boxing gym. Now that he's picking up that steam, he got that heat. Devin's like, ooh, let me ride that wave now. But now Rolly's team's like, nah, brother, we got to try to fry some bigger fish because you don't got the name we looking for. You don't got the cachet that we're looking for. If we're going to feed him to someone at 135, we want to feed him to Ryan Garcia. We want to feed him to Javante maybe. We want to feed him, but we don't want to feed him to you. What do we get from that? So once again,
from it.
At the end of the day, Devin, if you listen to this segment, you might as well go to 140.
Yo, I'm just gonna say this, and Sure Dollar Bill knows this. Yet again, G, you know this. I'm gonna close this. This is what annoys me. G, you sat at my crib when there was this Keith Thurman fan all on Keith Thurman's sack, and I told him there are two fighters right now that would beat him. I said Terrence Crawford. And I said Earl Spence Jr., and they weren't big then, were they? People didn't even know who they were. I named them back then. Another guy that I was talking about back then was Devin Haney. It's not that I don't like these guys. It's not that I don't have love for these guys. It's not that I don't think these guys are talented. I just got to call it like it is. I got to say the real. I want to see Devin succeed as much as the next man. But, like, I can't act like these dudes are ducking him. I can't act like these dudes are scared of him. I can't act like he's some – because, in fact, to be honest with you, his performance against Jorge Linares actually made me think that some of these dudes got a better chance against him than I was originally going to give them. So, like, I'm just saying, like, I like the dude, but I can't like him and then be so biased that I act like everybody else is afraid of him. I just can't do that.
Please tell us how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
You're welcome.